strange for either Guy or Velzard to wake up at any moment. That meant I had to stay alert, but since I had wrapped Velzard's freezing aura and magical waves inside my void collapse, none of it leaked outside. In other words, nothing was happening. With nothing to watch, I started examining Velzard. The Velzard wrapped in my void collapse was in her beautiful dragon mode. Her total magical energy was enormous, greater than the post-evolution Velgrin. Even compared to Veldora, she was basically on equal ground. I was suppressing such a monster without difficulty. Honestly, I was shocked at myself. My own magic energy had apparently grown to absurd levels. It seemed this was thanks to acquiring ultimate skill. God of Void, Azathoth. The more I heard about it, the more outrageous this ability sounded. I had been flung all the way to the end of the world by Feldway's chronosalteration. That ended up giving Ciel time to research. She explained various things to me afterward, but honestly, half of it went over my head. I had some confidence that I was reasonably smart, but even when being told conceptual things like the speed of light is not constant, or time is not immutable, or things like that's just your imagination, isn't it? I could not even understand what kind of relation that has to abilities. There's a saying like, sometimes you just have to give up. So I decided to keep only the practical parts that a simple commoner like me needed to know. In short, the ultimate skill. God of Void Azathoth is, in the simplest of terms, a mass of overwhelming energy. The Void Collapse I was currently using was basically the absolute collapse factor I had accumulated in the world of the end. Even Ciel had trouble handling it at first, but after infinite time spent researching it, she had turned it into something I could use casually. Impressive, right? When I asked, so it's like going from a nuclear reactor to a fusion reactor. She answered, incorrect, sounding like she wanted more praise, but expecting me to focus that much on delicate details was a mistake. Anyway, apparently testing this energy was dangerous even inside the labyrinth. It wasn't something I could half power or fine-tune, but the world of the end had been the perfect testing ground. I couldn't help but feel sorry for Feldway, helping your enemy by accident. How pitiful. By the way, when I tried using this energy for magic, just as a test, a massive explosion happened. I used the beginner-level magic fireball, but it instantly turned into a huge inferno. It became on par with, or stronger than, the nuclear series magic nuclear flame, a widespread annihilation spell. At that point, controlling it was completely out of my skill range. With Rimuru's return, the Tempest Alliance suddenly becomes brimming with motivation, while the most malicious of all creatures, Ivarge, the world-destroying dragon, finally sets its step upon the world, plunging everything into chaos. It's truly an all-out war. Amidst the turmoil, Rimuru is told a shocking fact by Veldanava, information that could shake the very foundation of the battle itself. As the conflict reaches its peak, and everyone is forced into desperate struggles, everything is left in the hands of a single slime. The super popular isekai fantasy finally reaches its main story conclusion. Ivarge descended upon the Celestial Palace, a gateway to alternate realms. The vast gate, typically closed and guarded, was inexplicably open. No one could stop Ivarge's advance. Leading an army of hellish beings, the innocent yet malevolent god strode forward across dimensions. Ivarge had discovered fragments of the Axis world, remnants tied to Star King Dragon Veldanava. Fueled by hatred for those Veldanava loved, Ivarge vowed to destroy everything. Centered around the world-destroying dragon Ivarge, the vast swarm of cryptid beasts was an apocalyptic force. The evolution and naming of its subordinates spread unprecedented malevolence, granting overwhelming power to its minions. These creatures, exceeding disaster-class threats, numbered in the thousands. Their combined might signified the arrival of the end. With pure malice, Ivarge and its army marched forward, determined to consume everything and reclaim its lost perfection. Ivarge, the dreaming chaos dragon, born from the remnants of a god. She is not just a being. She is the embodiment of destruction, a force beyond comprehension. Sealed by Veldanava himself, even the Creator feared her wrath. With a gaze that bends reality and a presence that unravels dimensions, she walks the world as a living calamity. Souls tremble before her, armies vanish in her wake, and the laws of nature shatter with her will. Ivarge does not conquer, she devours fate itself. She was sealed, not defeated, because not even the Creator himself could destroy what he had birthed. star vault, long sealed beneath the heavenly star palace, finally awakens under Feldway's command. As the celestial locks snap open, the entire palace shakes as though the heavens themselves are being rewritten. Inside the vault lies the core purpose of the heavenly realm, the mechanism created by Veldanava to hold the remnants of his divine essence. Feldway walks alone into the vault, bathed in radiant energy so overwhelming that even angels would disintegrate if they approached. The chamber is filled with drifting shards of creation light, pieces of Veldanava's power that never faded. Feldway stretches out his hand and speaks. My lord, the world you created has strayed too far. It is time for you to return and restore it. When his hand touches the central altar, the entire vault ignites with cosmic force. A pulse of divine energy blasts across the heavenly realm. The heavenly star palace trembles. The angels kneel from the overwhelming pressure. The seals around the dimensional walls begin to distort. Feldway whispers. The first stage is complete. Veldanava will awaken. But the resurrection is only beginning. What emerges is not Veldanava himself, but the activation of the divine vessel meant to eventually contain him. The true creator still sleeps beyond the veil, and the power Feldway has released is merely preparing the world for the actual return. The volume ends with the heavens glowing under the pressure of a god's incomplete awakening. A warning that the world is about to change forever. As Feldway returned to the Heavenly Star Palace after his battle with Diablo, he was genuinely surprised to see Dino waiting for him. Before Feldway could even process the situation, Dino, unusually serious, immediately demanded to know where the bodies of Veldanava and Lucia were. He also asked why the entire palace was in ruins, including the supposedly indestructible door. Feldway himself was confused. The first explanation that came to mind was that Ivarge had somehow entered the palace and absorbed the corpses of Veldanava and Lucia, but he quickly dismissed this possibility. It was impossible to open or destroy the door from the outside. Dino, however, pointed out that it was possible to break it from the inside. That explanation made sense, yet it only raised a more troubling question. Who inside the palace had the power to destroy it? Dino was already the strongest one present at the time other than Feldway. Both arrived after the scenario. The only answer left was unthinkable. Veldanava, the true dragon believed to be long dead, might have revived and returned to the world. But if that were true, why would he destroy the palace and take Lucia's body with him? None of it added up. If Veldanava had truly returned, the first person he should have gone after was Feldway, the one who committed the greatest crime his subordinate could ever commit, manipulating Milim, his beloved daughter, and attempting to destroy the very world Veldanava entrusted him to protect. Yet, Veldanava showed no signs of caring about the world at all in this supposed revival. Later, while Guy was trying to save Velzard, the truth finally came out. Velzard revealed that Veldanava had actually revived long before the war, even before Rimuru's reincarnation. However, he returned without his former ego, without the personality or compassion he once had. All he desired was to become the omnipotent and omniscient god he once was. Because of this, Velzard was forced to stop him by sealing him in the death-like state. She hid this truth from everyone, terrified that someone like Feldway would break the seal without understanding the catastrophic consequences. But fate was already moving. The god of creation and the goddess of destruction had now awakened with a shared instinctive purpose to merge once more into the complete being of omnipotence and omniscience. Their reunion would mean the end of the world, a true divine Ragnarok. Only a handful of beings could hope to stand against such a calamity, and among them, the strongest of all was Satoru Mikami, the lonely slime who became Rimuru Tempest. He was the world's final hope. transform, Rimuru blinks and solos all three of these guys and their verses. Let's talk about how strong Rimuru actually is, because he is insanely broken. Meet Rimuru, an omnipotent, malice deity who treats everything and anything as his playground. He can easily consume an entire multiverse like it's a slice of cake, and then proceed to create an infinite number of multiverses. Every ability that you can think of in anime, I'm talking about all of anime, your favorite slice of life anime, your favorite shonen anime, whatever it is, any ability, he has that. Every axis, every concept, every reality, he transcends them all. He's even transcended his own story and is not confined to the plot or rules of other characters from other anime verses. He's basically the author. Rimuru, a boundless entity, a being beyond fiction. No one is above him. Author, reader, fictional characters, or even gods. All are part of his wish for creation, incarnation of true creation, and everything. Anything he wishes will happen. Anything he thinks of becomes reality. Every order he makes are beyond logic of absolute. His true name, his true appearance, his true power, all are the definition of true God. None of them can be understood by anyone. The only reason one could imaginate his being is because he lowered his existence until he was perceptible by our logic, therefore allowing the creation of his own being. His true body is indescribable. His true name cannot be pronounced. His true power cannot be explained. Everything that existed didn't exist, and will ever exist, has already happened for him. His true power cannot be spelled due to lack of words. But I don't fucking care.